Hey YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another remake video. Today we'll be remaking XXXTentacion's track Sad, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's set our tempo to 150 beats per minute. We're going to start off with that lead pluck sound, and as you may know, I already posted a tutorial on that sound, so I'm just going to go ahead and drag in that channel strip, the XXXTentacion's pluck synth. It was made in ES2. If you want to learn how to make that, click the link in the top right hand corner. For now, let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Here we go. Make that a little louder. All right, so this just repeats itself. And this just gets duplicated over here. All right, so that is the main sound over there. Next, let's go ahead and move on to our next sound, which is sort of that trumpet sort of lead sound that happens throughout most of the track actually as well. So we're gonna go ahead and create a new softer instrument track. All right, so let's go ahead and click the browser tab over here. We're gonna go over to Legacy. We're gonna go to Logic. We're gonna go to Orchestral. We're gonna go to Brass. And what we're going to bring here that I found sort of sounded similar to the sound that was used in the track. It was, I believe, trumpet section staccato. And I'm just going to go ahead and just reset. Actually, no, I'm not going to reset because I'll lose these stuff. I'm just going to remove these effects here because we're going to add in our own in a little bit. Let's just go ahead and draw in that pattern. Going to duplicate this. So there's the pattern right there. It goes like this. All right, so now this is where the fun part comes into place. First, let's just go ahead and duplicate this. So we have it over the 8 bars. All First, let's go ahead and open up our EQ. We're going to take a high pass filter or low pass filter. We're going to cut out everything from the high end. Let's change this to 6 dBs and let's drag this down to a really low amount. Next we're going to do here is going to bring in some distortion with overdrive. I'm going to really distort that sound since this is a XXX type song. So we're going to drive up to 17 dBs roughly. Pull our tone to about 2100 Hertz. Next, let's go ahead and open up Logic's Fat Effects. Go to Multi-Effects, Fat Effects. Let's just put on a bandpass here. Next, let's go over to our distortion tab. We're going to change our first distortion to grit. We're going to pull this up about 25%. We're going to change this one to scream. I'm going to pull this up to about 19%. Next, we're going to go turn on our mod effects. We're going to change the type to doubler. I'm going to pull it back to about 10 o'clock-ish. Alright, so let's go ahead and close that up. Next, let's go ahead and open another effect plugin. We'll bring in a modulator plugin, Flanger. Alright, so that sounds good just like that. Next, let's go ahead and bring in a quick delay. So we're going to go Logic's delay, tape delay. We're going to go to this EDM preset that I have. It's essentially an 8th note delay with a 16% feedback. Just going to pull up the wet to about 20%. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in the last piece to the puzzle, and that is Logic's Reverb Space Designer. We're going to go to a large space, and we're going to bring in, let's go outdoor spaces, do Long City Street. Let's try a warp space, and we'll go gunshot. Let's see how that sounds. All right, so there's the sound right there if we layer it with the other one. All right, so that sounds good just like that. Next, let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. All right, on this track, we're going to go ahead and bring in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument. I'm going to make it nice and loud, as we usually do. We're going to drag in XXXTENTACION SAD drum kit I put together for this tutorial. And let's go ahead and draw in that kick pattern. Let's close this so we have more room. Let's go ahead and duplicate this once, Command R on my keyboard, and copy that over once so it's stretched out over 8 bars. So for this kick, we're going to need a nice huge reverb. We're going to go to bring in Logic Space Designer. And once again, we're going to bring in a preset found under large spaces, outdoor space. We're going to go to a medium tunnel. It's going to sound something like this. Alright, so that sounds good just like that. We're arranging as we go here. So let's go ahead and just drag this out another 8 bars. And we're going to start to draw in our drums. Let's go ahead and duplicate this track. Let's mute the reverb because we don't need it for our snare. Let's go ahead and draw in that snare pattern. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Go down to our snare. Here it is right here. Let me just highlight this one, Command R, and duplicate that 7 times. Command R, we're going to adjust this per bar. There we go. All right, so there is our snare right there. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this track. And let's draw in our hi-hat pattern. All right, so let's go down to here. Change over to our brush tool. And let's change this to a 30-second note. Let's change this back to a 16th note. Let's change this back to a 30-second note. Change this back to a 16th note. All right, then we have a little pattern over here. Change this back to a 30-second note. Let's get another stutter hit over here. So there's the pattern right there. Next, let's go ahead and copy this over. Change this back to auto 1. Now it's spread out over 8 bars. All right, so for this sound, we're going to make it a little bit wider. So we're going to go to our effects tab over here. We're going to bring in a delay, and we're going to go sample delay. And we're just going to delay the left channel ever so slightly, maybe to 40. That sort of creates a Haas effect and sort of widens out those hi-hats. Here it is at off. It just spreads those hi-hats ever so slightly, but makes a difference. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate this track, and we're going to take off the sample delay. right, so let's go ahead and draw in an 8-bar pattern, and we're gonna draw in the open hat. So here we go. Let me just change this to a pencil tool and get rid of this. I'm going to pitch this down to semitones, give it a little darker sound, pitch it a little bit lower. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. All right, next, go ahead and duplicate this track, and we're going to go ahead and draw in a sort of little percussion hit. Here we go. Make this a little bit louder so I can actually hear it. Let's duplicate that. I pushed that in the wrong spot. All right, so that is our pattern right there. All right, so that's gonna copy over 16 bars, and then we're gonna copy over this sad lead over here. And then we're gonna get in our kick drum over here. It's actually gonna be a different pattern here. It starts about halfway through over here, about on the 35th bar. So let's go ahead and draw that in. All right, so at the 35th bar, the kick comes back in. All right, so there it is right there. Then what also comes into play here, we're just gonna duplicate this kick drum. The kick plays out over here, but with it being 100% wet and no dry. So we're gonna go ahead and just put in that note value here. So that sounds good just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and duplicate this track once again. We're going to take off of the space designer, or the space designer off. And we're going to go ahead and draw in another kick. Here we go. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to copy over this section over here, and we're just going to make it like that, and we get something like this. All right, so that sounds good just like that. Then we're gonna get these two over here. I'm gonna unsolo this. We don't need everything soloed. And then this plays out after that. Now for this horn section over here, we're gonna hit A on our keyboard to bring up automation. And we're just gonna go ahead and automate this volume just like this, as it has in the song. It's sort of like a little volume build, just like that. Lower this a little bit. All right, so something like that is good. And that's pretty much the remake to XXXTentacion's track Sad. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and take a listen to the remake we just put together. So that is how you remake Sad by XXXTentacion. For you Logic users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys and place that as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to go ahead and export all these MIDI stems for you. I'm going to include the drum kit and of course include those audio loops for you to drag right into your own DAW of your choice. You can find all of those playbacks in the description box below this video. If you have any questions on this or just want to talk, let's chat in the comment section below. If you did like this video, a thumbs up, share it, and of course hit that subscribe button for more great videos like this one. I'll talk to you all soon. Later.